My name is Robert Christopher Wayne Weathers. I live at 3102 Center Hill Road, Acre, Mississippi, 38841. I am under attack. I have been kidnapped by Scientology. They forced assimilation. They forced me into a hive mind. They are also attacking me with a biological weapon, remote control parasites, big worms with teeth. They are driving them through my biology. One on my heart, my lungs, my abdomen, go up my spinal column into the base of my skull, and they sit underneath my brain. I also have some in my brain. I have them in my extremities, in my around in my groin. Yes, they drive parasites. It is part of Scientology's technology. It allows for the control of other organisms. They can drive other life forms. They can drive humans, animals, insects, worms. So it appears that there's more space in the universe than humans can see. There are extra dimensions. It seems they reside within the particle itself. There's a place within the particle that creates us. We have biology in this extra place, in this other place. We utilize this biology to have an afterlife. When we die, we are supposed to live on in extra dimensional biology as an extra dimensional organism. Scientology is the practice of utilizing this extra dimensional biology before you die. They remove it from themselves or remove part of it from themselves and turn it into an extra dimensional vehicle. They they drive their extra dimensions before they die, while they are still among the living. They use technology and techniques to do this. This technology that they use allows them to do several things. First, it interfaces with their neural tissue and their central nervous system, and it allows them to link themselves into a computer system. Within this computer system, it allows them to communicate with each other and interact with each other in a digital landscape. They can even have sexual relations with each other. Technology also allows for the creation of surrogates. They remove biology from other organisms, sometimes multiple organisms, even from different species, and they create another life form or another organism in which they can drive, another biology. They can also drive organisms that are among the living, the third dimensional part of us. They can drive humans, animals, insects, worms, anything, even microbes, microbial life. This is due partly to the technology and partly because we have special abilities in our upper dimensions. Our upper dimensional biologies have special abilities. This technology also artificially stimulates neural tissue. They can isolate individual neurons and neural connections and memories and stimulate these areas of the brain. They can control your thought pattern or stimulate one, create one for you. They can give you a little experience, elevated neurochemistry and ego boost. And it's like a little cartoon you can put yourself in, like a little joyride. using your thought processes. They have one they call the riding the purple dinosaur. It's where you're a baby on a little dinosaur dancing around and you're having fun. It gives you a bunch of joy. They stimulate the joy part of your or the emotional part of your brain, give you joy and then an ego boost. You wink, you spin around in a circle. That's part of it. They have a device attached to their brain that stimulates neural tissue. They have technology for every part of your brain and nervous system. They can stimulate every area of your brain, the part of your brain that deals with emotions, thought patterns, thinking, language, visual cortex of your brain, and they can record the signals from your brain. They can record the sensory perception organs. They can record your eyesight, your hearing, your taste, your feel, touch, smell. This is part of their hive mind technology. You can literally experience another person's uh, perception. This technology also artificially stimulates neurochemical metabolism. It elevates neurochemistry. Dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin, they stimulate neurons, which forces neurochemical metabolism. It elevates neurochemistry. It has a narcotic like effect. A large percentage of people practicing Scientology have become criminal. They like to kidnap people, exploit people, they traffic humans. If you are a person of interest or a person with any kind of authority or power, they like to force you to assimilate into their hive mind, or they practice Scientology on you. They utilize technology and techniques to try to control your behavior. They like to take surrogates from the population or make them constituents. They get addicted to people. They paparazzi people. That has been my case. I'm an author, a political activist. I support environmental issues. I participate in politics. I used to do it a lot, especially on social media. Debated a lot about politics, policy, lawmaking, environmental issues. I had a large following, I guess. We got some stuff done in government. I also wrote a lot. I'm a creative. I write literature and come up with ideas. I like to create. I'm an intellectual. I inspired a lot of people. I even helped a lot of people make money, gave a lot of people ideas. It's something that I'm good at and I like to do. Somebody decided to practice Scientology on me. They wanted to read my mind. They installed technology 13 years ago. It became apparent very soon that the public was invading my privacy. Some of these people were hostile. I started hearing voices coming from my radio, television. They even communicated with me on social media and some of the real people in the world. Some of the people in the world were communicating with me through their employment, especially radio DJs, news anchors, TV show hosts. It's like I got kidnapped because I'm a genius. I am part Native American and part Caucasian. I write literature that attempts to save the planet, and that's my whole brand. My Native American name is Crazy Bird. I wrote Crazy Bird comics. Crazy Bird, he's a cyborg Native American warrior. He utilizes technology to save the planet. That was the first mock up. I'm not done with it yet because I also wrote the Environment Creation Agency. It is a government agency that replaces the Federal Reserve and allows our government to start printing our money. That is what I spent most of my time doing. I also wrote Divine Currency, Alien Bob, Bug Bob, and several others. Shortly after assimilation, people started stealing my ideas. They started writing about the things I was working on, which wasn't too bad. That was the least. Some of it I kind of enjoyed to have peers, but it's invasion of privacy. I had to give up something. Some of these people were hostile. They started attacking me. I became ill a few years after assimilation. I started going to the hospital. I had foreign objects inside of me. I could feel them in my ear, in my head, in my throat. Yes, and I was hearing voices. Sometimes I'd see things. They stuck things in my eyes that controlled my vision, controls parallax, I guess, modifies my eyes. Eventually, they started showing it to me, what it does. People in my environment started acting strange. My coworkers, my family, my neighbors, my community. Well, I became sicker and sicker. People started stealing my intellectual property and using it as their own. Then it turned into biological theft. They actually gave me more technology that allows me to see more, more hive mind technology, phone service. Then they also let me see them in the environment. Scientologists creating their upper dimensional organisms. It turned into biological theft. They literally removed parts of my extra dimensional biology, parts of my inverse, and utilized it for transplant purposes and for surrogate making purposes. These people are conditioned to do this for a living. That's all they do. Scientology is literally the act of removing body parts from another organism and installing technology. They like to stick stuff in organisms and pull body parts off. They are largely transplant specialists. They are addicted to this behavior. It's turned into a Dr. Kevorkian scenario. They cut me to pieces. My biology is in a million pieces. Some of it they use for transplant purposes. They stuck it in their own biology, especially my neural tissue. Some of it they use for surrogate purposes. They created biologies, my with my biology, as using my biology as transplants. Please stop talking to me. He did it. He's going to do it again. I'm in a hive mind. I hear voices. Then it's turned into a snuff film because I have worms. They're damaging my biology, my vitals, one after another every day. They're trying to come up with a false narrative in which says I've done something wrong, somehow justifies their criminal behavior towards me. They are psychotic, delusional. They have addictive behavior. They are petty, jealous, greedy, machoistic, and they are violent. I've been kidnapped by Scientology and exploited. They've seen me creating intellectual content and participating in politics. It's because I'm native. I have an inherent ability. It's like I'm drawn to trying to protect and help create a good environment. I feel like it's in my blood. It's part of my natural tendencies. There's an aspect of us that I'll call genetic disposition. You can sense the way the environment affects your genetic expression. So we have genes that turn on and off, where they become mutated, depending upon environmental variables. Some variables in the environment help our genes express well. They help our organs be healthy. They help our brain function and form correctly. They help enzymes produce properly. And this is a very complex and intricate aspect of our reality. It's part of evolution. I was doing things to try to help my environment, and it was working. I don't know. I've been brain damaged. They kidnapped me in an attempt to read my mind. They were attracted to me. They became addicted to me. People started making money through communicating with me or listening to me. Kidnapped by Scientology. They do it a lot. They're here right now in their upper dimension, premeditating my death. They got to witness me creating, writing literature, and they became addicted to it. Most of the time, authors have feel great joy when they create, when they write. It's something they do for pleasure most of all. I do it a lot, especially in my mind. Yes, I wrote a lot of stuff down. I have a lot of notebooks. Plus, this computer right here has a lot on it too. Plus, I have thousands of hours of videos on the internet. I already had a stress disorder before they started afflicting me. It became severe. And then the government is also using Scientology. They do it for surveillance purposes. And they are the people kidnapping people, exploiting people. They take over people's lives. If you aren't practicing Scientology, you're getting practiced on. I was kind of in between for a long time, but they gave me worms. Some of these people started attacking me right off the bat. They were hostile. They want bad things to happen. And they did the same thing to my family, to the people in my environment, my coworkers, my neighbors, in an attempt to influence me, control my environment. They like to slip people things, put things in people's food and water. They used the people around me to do it. They have my biology. There's an entanglement property between our third and our inverse. Even if it's removed from you, you are still in it. You still experience that biology. Or at least that's something I have observed. I guess the entanglement property can be damaged or it can be interfered with. Yes, they keep taking more and more and more out. They're connoisseurs of body parts. These Scientologists see body parts as commodities, something that can be sold or utilized to make money. They can stimulate your brain and central nervous system, even your sexual organs, to make you feel pleasure or for communication. They're body part connoisseurs. Scientology sucks so bad to have your biology cut off of you. And then they stick stuff inside of you. Artificial stimulation. Yes, they do it for a living. So the symbol we utilize for heaven is a triangle. It's a symbol from ancient times. Represents our place of study or worship. I don't believe ancients worshipped. They had relationships. They assigned value to ideas and objects. That's a place where we go to understand the afterlife, pyramids, temples. I'm not going to tell them. I'll tell them. The human genome is supposed to produce an 11-dimensional organism that flies through outer space, does molecular light transfer, worms. Scientology cuts this thing to pieces. Then they try to use body parts from other organisms to keep themselves alive. They wind up with lizard people, which is a human, a part of their biology, merged with a lizard, body parts from lizards. They make insectoids, but they use bug body parts to keep themselves alive. And then there's an alien form. You're breaking the law. So our extra dimensions or our heavenly bodies come with special abilities. They have powerful eyesight. They can see in all dimensions, down to the molecular level. They can even do molecular transfer. With a healthy body in a healthy environment, they can move particles around. I'm being assaulted. They're damaging my brain tissue. Please get away from me. Stop driving my worms. Stop driving my worms. You're breaking the law.